Hi guys, today we are going to be doing a palette bingo and I'm so excited because I haven't done just a basic palette bingo using one palette in the longest time. And this is also a collab with a friend that I found from reviewing the palette that we're going to be using. And this is my friend Annie. Her channel name is cmybliss_beauty. I think I got that correct. If you haven't heard of Annie, like I said, I just found her. She's a pretty new channel, so I'm super excited to introduce her to you. She does the most amazing colorful makeup. She loves colorful makeup just like myself. She loves indie brands. She does a lot of the same content that I do on my channel. She does reviews, she does tutorials, she started doing some palette bingos. I think that you guys would fall in love with her just like I have because I think that she is amazing. So go ahead and check her out. We're both going to be doing a basic palette bingo with this. It's not going to be a face-off. We're not going to be using the same shades, but we are both going to be drawing 5 shades from this palette to be using on our eyes. And I just realized I didn't even say the name of the palette. This is the Musee Beauty Impressionism palette. I have made a couple of videos on this. I will have those linked up in the corner if you do want to go check those out. So I think we should just get into it because I just want to play with this palette. It just makes me so excited. Okay, so I have my random generator up on the screen here. So we're going to go ahead and generate 5 numbers. So let's start with the first one. The first one's going to be number 3. Of course it's going to be number 3. Of course I get the only bronze shade in this palette. That's just fantastic. You know what? Maybe it's just one of those days. Maybe I'm just going to get number 1 through 4. Let's draw another one. So next one's going to be number 7. Well, that's a little bit better. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe it's not that much better. I was really hoping that we would get something fun with this. I mean, they go together at least. Let's hope that we get some more fun colors. Next one's gonna be number 11. So we have, I guess that would be, I'm so bad at math, 1 through 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yay, we got a blue. And it's a matte. And it doesn't go with the shimmer set. Oh. Okay, well, this is gonna be an interesting look. I hope that we get, I don't know, what do I even want? I think I guess I want the dark brown. Let's see if we can get that. Next one's number 14, which is another matte. So we have the green matte as well. This is gonna be a very interesting look. I literally have no idea what I'm gonna do with this. This color swatch is really, really bad, but it's so beautiful on the eyes. Okay, last color. Let's see what we get. Number 2. Why do I do this to myself? I swear to God, the palette bingo gods are never on my side. I feel like maybe twice have I ever gotten a good color story in a palette bingo, but this is just, all right, well, you know what? I'm gonna pry my eyes. I'm gonna think about what to do. I'll be right back. Okay, so I think I have a bit of a plan, and this is going to be crazy, and I don't know if it's going to turn out good, which story of my life, but I think we're gonna go ahead and try it anyway. So I think what I'm going to start with, this is, like I said, probably going to sound crazy, but I'm gonna start by doing a wing with both of the shimmer shadows, but I am first going to put down a little bit of this base. This is one of the Lethal eyeliners. It's in the shade Amplitude, so it's a nice orange. I felt like orange would just kind of be a nice base for these colors. I could definitely go with some kind of a black, but I wanna make sure that the base that I have down is lighter than the darkest shade because I am going to put these on top of it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to kind of place the mattes a little bit like strategically in my crease and kind of make this more of like an artsy look. I don't really know where it is that I'm going with this, but I'm gonna go ahead and start by making a bit of a wing with those 2 colors and with this as a base. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab my Refer prototype brush. I've said this before, I don't think this is available. This is the P23, but it is a very, 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 very small kind of pencil brush, and this is great for doing more graphic work where you don't have to be like super precise. So I'm going to use this to make the outline of the wing that I want to do. So I do want this wing to be quite large, and I do want it to go above the hood of my eye. So I'm just going to start. I should probably start with the wing part. I think that's what I'm gonna do, but I do want this to be, like I said, above like the whole hood of my eye so I can see the whole wing. So I'm then gonna start by drawing a line here where I want my wing to be, keeping my eyes open because I do have hooded eyes like you guys know. And then I'm gonna look up and connect it to my lid here. And then what I'll do is I'm just going to start making the outline of the wing here. And I like just doing one eye at a time so that I can kind of match them up after. And I'm making sure that, again, this is going all the way over the hood of my eye when my eye is open, but not too high because I do want to have a little bit of room for some of those matte shadows. So I think this is going to be like the draft. So I'm going to try to do the same on this eye, and then I'm going to fill it in with the orange. I don't know if I want to do anything with this liner underneath my eye. I don't think I do. I think I just want this to be like on my top. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a flat brush. This one is from Alter Ego. It's the number 6, and I'm just going to grab some more of this liner and basically fill in everything. I know I haven't even started with the shadows yet, but just bear with me here. I'm just gonna fill in the rest of this wing. So I woke up this morning and I still kind of feel like a little bit off. Do you guys have that too? Like, especially now with COVID and everything, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, crap, I think I'm getting sick. And that's kind of how I feel today. But like in my head, I also think that it's probably just in my head, you know? But like, I just feel like I have a little bit of the shakes and a little bit of the chills, and I don't know why. And it's happened so many times since COVID started happening that I wake up thinking like, crap, I'm gonna be sick, but then it just sort of goes away. And I don't know if it's like anxiety or what, or just my brain being all over the place, but sometimes I just have days like that, and it's really annoying and it's really scary. I feel like I should just go take my temperature and like prove to myself that I'm obviously not getting sick, but I also don't want to do that in case I actually am sick. I think that this is looking so cool. See, I could just like leave it like this and make it just a graphic wing look. I love doing looks like this. I just think it is so fun and it's so flattering for my eye. Let me just make sure that these are even. I think they're about as even as they're gonna get without me having to finesse things too much. So we're gonna go in with these shimmer shadows now. So I'm first gonna start with the bronze shade. And I'm going to use my Rephr 03 brush. This is a very, very small pencil brush. This is going to go on the outer edge of my wing. I am going to give this just a very quick spritz of some Fix Plus because I don't want any fallout with this. So I'm going to just fill in like the whole outer portion of my wing with the shadow. I definitely could have just made the wing without putting down a base, but I sometimes like having a base down just to get a better idea of exactly where to place the shadows, and it also just makes the shadows pop a little bit extra. And it's also just nice to have a guideline for where to put them so you don't have to really think about it too much. Now it's a little bit hard to get a very, very sharp edge using a shimmer shadow here, but I'm gonna try my best. So I feel like the fact that I did draw this shadow was a sign that I needed to try it on the eyes, because this was the only shade in this palette that I don't think I ever used. Maybe I used a little bit of it, but you guys probably know that bronzes are one of my least favorite eyeshadows because I just find them to be kind of boring. It's like, if I have so many other colors to choose from, why would I choose a bronze, you know? That could just be me though. I know that a lot of people love bronzes. But as you can see, I'm doing this in a bit of a diagonal line here, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill in the rest of this part with the lighter kind of corally shade. So I'm just gonna use the same brush, and I'm gonna grab the shade called Sunshine, and I'm just gonna pop that on the rest of my lid. And then I gotta figure out what I want to do with the mattes. I haven't really thought about that too much. I mean, I know I need to put them on my eyes somewhere, but I haven't completely decided where it is that I want to put them, because they just don't really go the rest of the shades that I have on my lid here. But that's kind of why I wanted to do this, so that I could put the mattes kind of like away from the shimmers, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't really want my mattes to be touching my shimmers. So this is going to be a very strange look, but you know what? Why not have some fun with it, you know? And I think using orange as a base here was a very, very good idea, because these are layering so nicely on top of this. See, that actually looks kind of cool. I am going to clean up this wing a little bit as well, so I think I'm just going to do that now. I'm going to take the concealer that I used on my face, which is the Juvia's Place concealer. Just going to take a little bit of that on the back of my hand. And I'm going to grab a very, very flat brush here and take a little bit of this concealer and just clean up this line so that it is nice and sharp. And you don't want to be dragging too much. I'm just using patting motions so that I'm not moving the shadow around underneath. And then I'm just gonna gently pull down and just tap over this a little bit with my finger. And next up, I'm just gonna take a little bit of some face powder and just pat that over where I put down the concealer to set this. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the same brush that I used with my my eyeliner, which obviously has orange on it, but I'm gonna use this Beauty So Clean Wipeout Brush Cleaner. This is a like spot cleaning spray for your brushes. I love this so much. I use it basically every day because I'm so lazy and I hate actually washing my brushes. So this is what I use to kind of spot clean my brushes, either before or after I'm done filming. And that way they are nice and clean again. And I'm just wiping it off on my towel in front of me. I always have a towel in front of me because I am the messiest person, and it's just a good way to, you know, be able to clean things off right away. So it's a little bit stained, but it's pretty much as clean as it's going to get. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a bit of this blue shade called Almond. And I need to try to be very precise with this, but I'm not gonna use a lot. I'm just gonna do a little bit of a line right above where I put down the wing. And I totally could have done this before I went in and did my wing, and then I could have done a cut crease, but I figured I'd be able to be precise enough, and it would also just give me an outline of where to put down the shadow if I already had the wing down. So I think that's all I'm going to do. Like I said, I didn't want this to be a lot. Next, I'm gonna grab the shade called Parasol, which is the green, and this is going to go right next to it. Again, I'm not going to use a lot of this, just a little bit so that the green is on my eyes. And I really wish I did not have to use the last shade here, which is just like kind of a mustardy brown. Oh, I just dropped the palette. Whew, it survived. That was scary. But I think what I'm gonna do with that, like I said, I don't really want to use it anywhere. I don't want to keep going with this. Or do I want to keep going with that? I mean, it is going to blend pretty nicely into that green. Maybe I will take a little bit of that. I wasn't originally going to do that. I was gonna maybe put it in my inner corner and like top it with something, but maybe I'll just use the tiniest amount of that, like right next to the green. Just gonna tap that off just so I have a little bit of it on my brush. And I'm just gonna do the same thing that I did with the other two shades here. I really wasn't sure how to get this to look like a cohesive color story because the colors are just so strange. Like the color combination is not something that I ever would have picked for myself. And this is why I love doing palette bingo so much, because it pushes me to think outside of my comfort zone and do things with colors that I normally would never pair together. Like I never would have even come up with a look like this if I wasn't doing a palette bingo. So I think this is where I'm going to leave it. I'm not sure if I want to do anything underneath my eye. I kind of think I just want to keep it open. And maybe I'll do like a pop of something in my waterline. I don't know. I wish I could ask you guys for help, because I just don't really want to take away from like what I have on my top lid here. So maybe I'll just finish off with the look and see how it's looking and make up my mind later if I want to do anything else under my eye, because I really don't think I do. The only thing I want to do is maybe pop something in my waterline, but I'm gonna finish off with my eyes, you know, think about what to do. I'll come back when my eyes and lips are done, and then we can do the rest of the face together. Okay, so this is the eyes done. I decided to not really fuss with it at all. I just put on some mascara, I curl my lashes, and that was it. I'm just gonna leave the bottom lash line like completely blank. I don't want to do anything in my waterline. I don't want to do any mascara. I don't want to take away anything from what's going on the top. I also put on some lipstick, and this is Hot Chocolate from Revlon. This is such a beautiful color, and I just thought that it would kind of match that bronze shade perfectly. So let's go ahead and finish off. I do want like a very bright pop of something in my inner corner, and I also want that to be the same that I have on my face as my face highlighter, but I do need some blush first. And for that, I'm going to use my Natasha Denona Mini Bloom Blush. I know you guys have seen me use this all the time. I cannot get enough, but I just feel like it looks good with pretty much every look that I do. I don't know what it is about it. It just has such a good tone to it that I feel like it goes with both warm tone and cool tone looks. And I just love the finish of it so much. Oh, it's just such a beautiful highlighter. And I think in my inner corner, I want to go with something yellow possibly, probably, because that's going to go very nicely with basically everything that I have on my lid. So I think I'm gonna grab probably my Kaleidos highlighter. Yeah, that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use Solar Sailor here, like I said, from Kaleidos. And I'm first going to highlight my face, and then I'm going to highlight my inner corner as well. And I think that's going to be basically the look. I mean, is this what I would have done if I had other colors? Absolutely not. And I don't even really know how this happened. I swear, this is like me every time I do a palette bingo. At the end of the video, I'm like, what just happened? But it's just so fun. You know, this is why I like makeup so much. Oh, I forgot to blush my nose. But this is why I like makeup so much, because it's all about experimenting and having fun and doing things that you know, maybe it's a little bit out of your comfort zone, just trying something new, trying new techniques, trying new color combinations, new placements, and just seeing what happens, you know? Like, I just love that about makeup. So I'm not gonna put too much of this in my inner corner. Actually, I take that back. I'm probably gonna put way too much because that's just what I do. I just can't help myself. Inner corner highlight is just one of my absolute favorite things. So I think this is going to be the final look. Let me know what you think. I kind of like it. I like that it's different. I like that it's not something I've done before. I've been really enjoying more like graphic looks and playing around with like lines and stuff. I find that to be so fun, and it's just different, you know? I like doing something that's different from time to time. So that's gonna be my look. Don't forget to check out Annie's look. I know that she got a better color story than I did. I don't know what yet until I watch her video, but she said that she got luckier than I did at least. So I'm excited to see what she did. Go ahead and check her out. Like I said, you guys are going to love her. She will be linked down below in my description box, as well as up there, of course. If you would like to see some other ones of my palette bingos, I will pop my playlist up on the screen. And if you're new, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.